What's poppin', y'all? This is your DJ브라이언과, and you're listening to TBS efm. Here we are in the dungeon again, and it's Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day, everyone. And you should take time, today to thank all the people in your life who have made service in the military at one time or another. And also remember all the people who died giving their lives to their country. War is such a sad, sad event, though. And I think we in the world today have a responsibility to try stop wars from happening. And that's the exact philosophy that the singer of the next song had when he made this song. The song is called Imagine, and it is by none other than John Lennon. So keep in mind the message of the song, where it's trying to think about all the reasons why humans fight wars and battles, tend to actually happen, the reason why, and trying to remove them. All right, so here's a really good message in this song. Check it out. Here's John Lennon with Imagine. Welcome back to What's Poppin' with Brian Ju. We're on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and all the surrounding areas, and GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, how do you get in contact with us here at What's Poppin'? It's pretty simple. You can send us a text at sharp or pound 1013 for a charge of 51, or send us a tweet at EFM Poppin', or an email at efmpoppin@gmail.com. You can also send us a Kakao Talk message if you add TBS EFM as a plus friend. So it's pretty simple. Just say hello if you want to. Send us requests. Tell us how you're doing, or tell us how you feel about our show. Also, if you want to join us for Open Studio that airs every Friday, we pre-record that on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So please send us an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com with your name and telephone number, and Eugene will get you situated. Also, we have a lot of announcements today, y'all. To celebrate TBS's 23rd anniversary coming up on June 11th, What's Poppin', that's us, of course, will have another special open studio, and this one will be live, and that is next Tuesday, June 11th at 9:05 a.m. Korea time. So if you'd like to come be a part of our show, please be at TBS by about 8:45 in the morning-ish. I know it's pretty early, but if you want to be a part of our show live, please come and join us. It'll be fun. And of course, we'll still have our normal weekly open studio as well that week. And our last announcement is on Tuesday, also June 11th, that's the 23rd anniversary of TBS, at 5 p.m., we'll have a special documentary called Roses in the Snow. And it's about the Kim sisters, who were a popular musical act from a long time ago. And some say they are the pioneers of the Korean wave. So tune in to find out and check it out and help us celebrate our 23rd anniversary. Alrighty. Also, I thought that was the last announcement, but we have one more last announcement. And this is very important because I know a lot of people might freak out if I don't tell you this. Today at 10 a.m., of course, which is right after our show, we're going to hear air raid sirens. So do not worry. There won't be any earthquake or attacks. It's just a tribute and a reminder of all the Korean soldiers and patriots. And that is because today is Memorial Day. So please take some time to think about all the people who fought for this country. And don't freak out. It is, just to commemorate the people who died for our country. All right, now for the word of the day. In the first song, John Lennon was thinking about all the reasons we fight wars. And in the very first few lyrics of the song, he said, "Imagine there's no heaven, no hell below us." And, he's really not saying that he wishes there was no heaven or hell. Of course, we hope there is no hell. But he's talking about all the religious wars that go on in the world, or how religion, when used improperly, can be used as a motivator for war. So our word of the day is religion. So all the songs in the first half of our show will be related to religion. And we're here at What's Poppin', all of our own religious beliefs. But we think that we should be respectful for others, of course. So keep that in mind. And that we aren't saying that religion is bad, or that if you aren't religious, you're a bad person. We just want to be very sensitive about that as well. And our first song is by Frank Ocean. Not the first song, the second song of the day, but the first song after Word of the Day is Frank Ocean's song, and he's singing about bad religion. Check it out. That was Losing My Religion by R.E.M. And you guys are tuned into TBS EFM's What's Poppin'. And our final song of the first half, actually we have two final songs, but the first song that we're going to play for you guys, of course, is related to the word of the day. And we've got a Wyclef and R. Kelly track for you guys right now. Wyclef Jean and R. Kelly, they teamed up for this one, and the song is called Ghetto Religion. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's how poor people in the inner cities have to struggle so hard just to get by. And offering religion is one of the only ways they can use to get over, these hard times and coping with the hard life that they have been given. So you guys have to listen carefully, and hopefully you can feel the pain and sadness that some of the people, actually have to go through. And you can maybe figure out ways that you guys can actually help the situation. And remember, if you're doing nothing, we're just as bad as the people who are causing the problems as well. So if you guys have a heart, you guys want to show some love, help the people out in the inner cities who are struggling through all this pain, do something about it. Don't sit on your butts at home just watching all these people struggle because, like I said, if you're doing nothing at all, we're almost just as bad as the people who are causing all these problems. Alrighty, and the song that we're going to play for you guys, like I said, is Ghetto Religion. Not a religion that's ghetto, but like I said, it's about the people who are going through struggles in the inner city. Check it out. This is my man, Wyclef Jean, and my man, R. Kelly, with Ghetto Religion. And right after that, we're going to play the last song for you guys for the first half of our show. And it's about another talented dude from Canada, and he's singing about, nothing but praying. So check it out. That's Justin Bieber with Pray. And I'll be back with the second half of our show. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Paparazzi. Now, a lot of work goes into writing the lyrics of songs, and there are some songs out there that might sound great musically, but they have lyrics that just don't mean much. But we can all agree that we love the songs that both sound really good and have deep, meaningful messages. And as a lyric writer myself, it isn't that easy to write lyrics, and it takes time and concentration. Well, given that writing lyrics can be such a hard thing, of course, you would think that most of the huge entertainment companies in Korea employ lyricists to make the best possible songs they can. Well, in SM Entertainment, the man behind the lyrics of recent popular songs is John Hyung-yu Lee, son of the CEO of the company, Lee Soo-man. My ex-company, of course, from a while back. Now, this information was leaked in an investigative report recently, and it appears that John Lee has written the lyrics for so many of EXO and Girls' Generation songs. Ones that have been confirmed are Let Out the Beast from EXO's full-length album called XOXO Kiss and Hug, and the other one is for the Girls' Generation song Hoot. So it looks like John Lee, who is only 19 years old, is well on his way to becoming an influential figure in the music industry. And I wonder if he will expand beyond being a lyricist, maybe even write and produce tracks as well. And I'd be interested to see if he has any insight on how to move the company forward and if he's going to take over from his father, of course. And we don't know for sure if that's what the plan is, but we are sure that the company gives him, a lot with giving him the opportunity to write lyrics and hoot about his lyrical prowess, of course. He's got talent at the age of 19, y'all. For somebody who can write lyrics for so many different groups and come up with so many different stories, it's not easy. Alrighty, so we're going to play a song for you guys that John Hyung-yu Lee wrote the lyrics to. This is Girls' Generation with Hoot. Welcome back to What's Poppin', and now it's time for Poppin' News with Eugene Huang. This is in the studio.
Hello, Brian. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right? Okay, that's great. Today's Memorial Day, so I'm really happy and excited today. And like you said, the sirens are going to come up pretty soon. Last time when we had the sirens, I actually got scared, but,
To be honest, good thing you wrote it in the announcements, because if we didn't and I heard the sirens,
yeah,
I would have freaked.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
But, they always have that at least 2 times a year, I think, just to keep people prepared.
Is it only 2 times a year? I feel like it's more.
Well, it would be 2 times per year to get people prepared, and then I think they do it on Memorial Day usually to remember all the veterans and heroes that, fought for the country and kept it, at peace.
You know what they should do is, over the huge PA system over Korea, play some memorial music or something, because that siren stuff, because what if timing goes bad and during the siren test there is like a war about to break out, then we wouldn't know if we should run or not.
I always wondered about that myself. When I was a kid, I also wondered in the US if on the 4th of July, if that's when the Russians wanted to nuke us, that would be the perfect timing, because
Don't say that. I'm going to be in Jersey.
Yeah, well,
what if they nuke New Jersey on the 4th of July?
Russia's not an enemy anymore. So
July 4th is going to be warm, so what if it's a warm war? Get it? Cold War, Warm War.
One thing I want to do before we get into the news, I want to give a
Yes.
shout out to Amy in Tennessee. She contacted me on Facebook and said she wanted to learn more about Korea, and I've been helping her learn Hangul and stuff like that, and told her I was on a radio show, and she didn't believe me. So, hello, Amy.
Yes, Amy, hello. Eugene is actually on this radio program.
Yes, with Brian Ju.
Does your wife know about this?
Of course.
All right, I'm just making sure.
She's like 20 years
I don't want to hear no
younger than
drama
me.
for you, mama. Oh, so she's more like a little sister.
She's a Korean adoptee.
Okay, cool.
Who wants to learn more about her heritage. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But let's go into the news. First one. This story at first it doesn't sound that weird. There was a girl missing in.
That does sound weird. Anybody missing is always weird.
Yeah, but those kind of things happen all the time. So, girl's missing from California, and the cops went in and searched her house top to bottom. They
Okay.
even brought dogs in and go smell for her, and they couldn't find her. So they were searching for her. She was reported missing to the police. Several hours went by. Then finally, all the news vans were at her house, and she just was found under the bed, hiding.
Oh my God.
So she was playing hide or seek. Hide and
By
seek.
herself?
I guess she was playing it with somebody, and the person never found her, but she didn't want to come out because she didn't want to lose.
Wow, that's
So-
somebody that's gung-ho about games.
Yeah, after this girl was on the news
Wow.
for being a missing child and her grandmother was freaking out, like she just ended up being under the bed. And they searched the bed.
Hold on, the dogs couldn't smell her under the bed?
Well, they said there was like a lot of stuffed animals under there because, she was hiding. She really wanted to make it like really hard to find her. So she took all her stuffed animals and put them in front of herself. And then she fell asleep. That was the thing.
I think they should hire this girl for some kind of reality TV show.
It's amazing. And,
That's really amazing.
Like all of her family was all worried about her. But then, when her grandmother called and said, oh, she was actually just hiding under the bed and she fell asleep. They all had a good laugh about it. But, this is serious.
Yeah, they were laughing about it, but the cops weren't.
I'm sure the cops weren't, but they were probably also relieved.
Of course you're relieved.
And her grandmother, probably was having a heart attack when she went missing, but it just turns out she was, but
These kind of situations make me think. You know how they say in the States when you call 911, it takes forever for the police officers to get to your house.
Yeah.
Maybe these are the reasons why, because you get these, I wouldn't call it a prank call, but, police
Yeah.
officers are now getting frustrated with every time they show up somewhere, it's nothing. And they're like, you know what? The next phone call that comes in, let's just take our time.
Yeah, but at the same time, if your child goes missing and you search your whole house and you can't find the child, you're going to call the police.
Obviously, didn't search very well if she's under the bed. That's easy to find somebody under the bed.
I guess so. It
Yeah.
actually happened to a friend of mine. He wasn't even hiding. We went. His mom called my house when I was a kid and said,
Okay.
"Is your friend your friend over there?" And I'm like, no, he's not here. I don't know where he is." It turns out he had just gotten a really interesting book from the library and he was reading it in his bed. Usually he watches TV after school, but because he was actually reading, his mom couldn't find him. That's pretty funny.
All
Right?
she had to do was open his room door.
She expected him to be downstairs in front of the TV.
Before we get to the next news, let me just say, parents out there and grandparents, just look first before you freak out, because it's not hard to open a door or look in under a bed or
Absolutely.
a cabinet. Because kids do that. I used to do that. I used to hide in like the pantry.
Okay.
Just make sure, think of little spaces, dark spaces that little kids tend to like to hide in, and just look there, and then don't freak out. Maybe your kids are hiding in there. There you go.
One thing you could do now, though, is just call them on their cell phone because kids always have that with
That
them.
is true. And that's probably what they're doing. They're probably on their smartphones playing games anyway.
Maybe. All right, let's go into the next news. This is also pretty interesting.
Alrighty.
So, robot technology has progressed a lot. Have you seen some of the videos they have of robots?
No,
these
I
days?
choose not to. They freak me out.
They have, the walking robots and everything. That freaks you out? Why?
Well, the thing is, it's like, what if people are now, like jobs and, employment, it's going to go down the drain because now they're going to have robots doing all the work in factories and stuff.
Yeah, I guess you saw the movie I, Robot, and that's what you're talking
I
about?
didn't see that movie.
Okay, you should see that if that's what you feel, because it has Will Smith in it. It's an actually good movie.
Oh, no, I did see that movie. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one. As soon as you said Will Smith, I was like, all right, that movie. Yeah.
Yes.
See, what if they hire robots and instead of me, it'll be like, you are now listening to TBS efm,
No, I don't think that would happen. They'll probably will not replace radio DJs or singers with robots, but I think a new sector of robot repair and programming will open up.
Okay.
Don't you think? I don't know. It's just two ways of looking at it. People thought that computers would also make people lose their jobs, but actually it made lots of more jobs.
That is true.
So, somebody's going to lose, of course. And probably construction workers will be all by robots and everything. But anyway, we're not at that point yet. Right now, though, in a U.S. university called Cornell, Ivy League University, they've developed a robot that can anticipate your actions and know when exactly to pour you a beer.
What?
So, like, you come home, you're relaxing, you sit down, he's like, oh, he's sitting down, I better get him some beer. And, like, he goes over to open the fridge, gets the beer, pours the beer, and brings it to you.
But what if I
right?
just wanted a soft drink?
Well, you could program it for soft drinks, too, I'm sure.
Oh, so you have to program it yourself.
Well, I don't know exactly, but it's supposed. The whole thing about the robot is that it's supposed to, recognize your mood and everything by the way you look and your posture and everything, and know exactly from that. It has like an algorithm. So, oh, he's in this posture, he's in this position. I should probably do this for him. It's kind of very rudimentary AI based on the way you look or the way you're standing or what you're saying and stuff. So. Yeah, technically you might have to program it a little bit at first, but it's supposed to learn by itself. And over time, it'll learn your habits.
And how much does this robot cost?
Well, there's only one at the moment, and it's very experimental. But I can tell you that it runs on 16 laptop batteries. And
Holy!
It can also clean up your house and make breakfast for you or put food in the fridge.
How much does a laptop battery cost?
Laptop battery?
Like $500-600?
No, the battery that you put on the back of your laptop, right? Your
the rechargeable
computer.
ones.
Yeah, that's like maybe $100 at the most, I think. It's not that expensive.
Okay.
I mean, you can replace them all the time.
But do you have to charge the robot or?
Probably. But 16, that is a lot. I'm sure they'll refine it over time.
Yeah.
But that's interesting because tomorrow I hope that in the open studio we will have because one of the words of this week was machine, right? So we're going to have like a discussion about robots and everything. So you could lead that discussion.
Okay.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That. Hopefully tomorrow on Open Studio with me, Olivia, we're going to goof off again about robots. But that's tomorrow. But right now we're going to play a song for you guys. Mm-hmm. This is a song, actually a group that I actually like listening to. A lot of people know that I was a hip-hop fiend growing up. But this one rock group, would you consider them rock?
I don't know. It's like rock and hip-hop and like West Coast combined, right?
Exactly.
It's hard to classify.
I guess they have their own genre.
Yeah.
Either way, this is Sublime with 40 Ounces to Freedom. Check it out. That was Sublime with 40 Ounces to Freedom.
40 ounces of cola, of course.
Is that what they're talking about?
I'm sure that is what they
I'm pretty sure they're talking about a glass in a paper bag and they drink it on the street. You know what I'm talking about? We saw that in the States growing up.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Brian.
But we have to talk about the news.
Of course, let's go to some more news. This one comes out of our favorite state in the whole wide world for this segment.
I don't get why there's so much news in this one state.
Because there's so much going on there, I guess.
I mean, are you searching for other places?
Yes, I am searching for other places, but the heat definitely gets to you when you're down there.
There's got to be news here in Korea. There's got to be news somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. There is, but this is just really interesting, this story. Okay, so you've been to Disney World before, right?
I think Disney World is the one in
Florida.
No.
You have not?
I've only been to Disneyland.
Okay. How was that?
Yeah. From my recollection as a child, I don't remember much, but I've seen pictures of me at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most recent one that I went to was Disney Sea in Japan.
Okay.
And I heard there's
like an aquarium thing?
No, it's more of an adult-themed, not adult-themed.
Water park?
It's just for older people to go on dates and stuff. It's not exciting with all these rides and everything. And they're just
sea as in the ocean sea.
Yes, yes, Disney Sea. So there's Disneyland and Disney Sea. Right?
Okay.
Because they're trying to make everything like have a different name. And I think there's some news or rumors that eventually they're going to build a Disneyland or something like that in Korea, but I don't know if it's never been verified, but I've heard that from so many different people. Like they're planning to do it in Jeju-do. Once they were planning to do it in Gangwon-do, but I've never heard of it. But anyway, getting back to the news from Florida at Disney World, there was two people that were in a police chase.
Okay.
Except for the funny thing is they were in Disneyland or Disney World. What do you call it? The golf carts,
I guess.
So riding around Disney World in golf carts.
Okay.
And then there were bike cops like chasing them around Disney World trying to catch them, right?
This happened in Japan?
No, this happened in Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah, in Disney World.
Okay.
So they're riding around the golf carts and the police are chasing after them and they're driving all over everything and they eventually tipped the cart over and they had to speed along a boardwalk to get away. And then, of course, the police eventually caught them, but it took them a really long time. They have since been bonded out of jail, but, that's just weird. Why would you go on a rampage like that in a kids park, especially if you're, they're in their mid-20s, I believe.
To be honest, that is the key word in every weird situation is why.
Well, I think maybe they were having their 40 ounces of freedom, if you ask me, Too
Either
much.
that or maybe they just wanted to act act a fool. You know, sometimes in life you're so stressed out with all the seriousness and all the work that sometimes you don't even have to have your 40 ounces of freedom. You just actually just go crazy. And I think a lot of people do that. They just hit the peak and they just go over the limits. You know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think there are more healthy ways to do that. Maybe you could play a violent video game or something.
Or build a robot. I don't know.
That can pour you 40 ounces to freedom, right?
Cray. Okay.
Crazy.
Any other news?
There is no other news that I've researched recently, but I think that we have some news about next week. Of course, we're going to have that open studio on Tuesday, which is really rare because usually we only have them on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, that's going to be really early for you guys. So, I mean, if you guys can make it out, it'd be really, really great on our part. We'll have a great time. But at the same time, if you can't make it, we understand because it's at 8:45 that we ask you guys to be here in the morning.
Right. It's going to be really early. But we're here that early all the time anyway. And also sometimes there are fans waiting in the on the first floor when you come in, you know? So it's not like people aren't available at all.
Oh,
so,
about that day.
Yeah.
Is it going to be just me, or are we having guests?
We will have people that come to the studio, like the fans normally, but of course Mike Jones will also be in the studio to help you out, I believe. So we'll just have to look forward to that. We haven't totally planned the entire show yet.
Okay, so Mike's going to be doing Poppin New or Poppin Review live.
That is not confirmed yet. He might do more than that. We'll see. I have to converse with the producer a little bit more, and we should be able to tell you that in the future.
All right, but what is finalized, we are having an open studio next week, so if you guys can make it, we're going to still have our original open studio as well, so that's going to be on Tuesday live at 9:05 a.m. To be a part of our show, please be here by 8:45 a.m., and that'll be until 10 a.m., and also we are going to keep the normal open studio on Wednesdays at 11 a.m., which will be broadcasted on Friday at 9:05 a.m.
Yes, as usual, 9:05 a.m. And of course, if you would like to attend either of them, you can email the show at efmpoppin@gmail.com, and of course, we'll reply to you and tell you. Please,
Not me,
please
I won't
come.
reply.
Please
Eugene
come.
will reply.
Yes, I will, because that's my job.
Alrighty, with that said, it is now time to wrap up the show, but thank you guys for tuning in for yet another exciting What's Poppin'. On behalf of Brian and
Eugene,
this is us signing off. Peace. And the last song of the hour is Joyride by Roxette.